Previously on Survive the Challenge. Come on in, guys! Before we get to our first challenge, we're gonna have to pick teams for our first challenge.
We'll pick first. You guys can come on up to my left.
And our last person gets to pick which team they go on for themselves.
Honestly, my thoughts in my head, I really felt like I got picked after the kid on the crutches.
Our first challenge is going to be rec ball. Each team is fighting for safety in this game. Winners get breakfast and safety. The stakes are high.
1, 2, 3, green team!
Congratulations to our winning team, the green team. Like I said, unfortunate that somebody has to lose, but it has to be you guys. Now, our game only lasts one day.
And I didn't know which one, and I kind of just guessed, and I picked the right one.
It's been tough because me, Danny, and Destiny created a Final Three alliance already.
First person voted out of our game, Carissa. All right, hand in your bandana. All right, head on out. Survive the Challenge is brought to you by the Newport Richey Recreation and Aquatic Center, sponsored by Urban Air Adventure Park. It's 10:30 a.m. and it's time for our second challenge. The orange team hasn't had anything to eat since 7 a.m. when this game started, and they just lost Carissa. So the green team's been in the driver's seat so far, but anything could happen. Welcome to our second challenge. We are coming into this second challenge, which is called the Gauntlet. Now today you guys will be running the Gauntlet. It is a multi-stage challenge. To begin, you will be tied into these ropes and you'll have to unweave a complicated tangled mess by moving your bodies and working together as a team. Once you are done untangling your rope, I will confirm for you. Then you will move 8 heavy sandbags in a 250-meter loop, 2 at a time. 2 team members will go. When they're back, the next set will be able to move on. When you guys have moved all your sandbags, 1 team member at a time will work on a complicated slide puzzle. The first team to finish their puzzle will be the winner of our second challenge. Now, you guys are competing for a chance at safety, at team evaluation, and for reward in the form of food. Now, just because Chris has been voted out of the game does not mean her effect on the game is over. She did have an advantage that she gained when she was voted to stay behind at the first challenge.
Okay, so at the first challenge, I decided to volunteer and stay back, which I thought would help me, but didn't. And I chose an advantage for my team. And the advantage was 45 seconds head start in the second challenge. And I was going to give it to my team for the next challenge. However, I think I'm going to go ahead and give it over to Savannah on the green team.
Unfortunately, the orange team no longer has that reward. When Carissa was voted off of her team, what the orange team didn't know was that she was given the chance to award her challenge to another player in the game. Carissa chose to give her award to Savannah on the green team. Savannah, you bring that to me now? This is the official award, granting a gift for challenge 2 of a 45-second advantage, now being played for, I'm assuming, the green team? All right. The orange team will have to wait with their ropes around them, watching for 45 seconds while the green team starts the challenge. I'll give you guys some time to decide where you're going to be. Let's get started.
Carissa gave me this advantage when she got voted out. I'm not sure what it is, so let's find out. It's a 45-second head start in challenge 2. So thank you, Carissa. I appreciate it. I think, me talking with the other team and trying to befriend them obviously helped to my advantage, so I'm glad that Carissa found a friend in me, and if she was on my team, I wouldn't have voted her out.
So going into this challenge, we knew that Carissa had like a 45-second advantage for us for the next challenge. So when we saw what the challenge was when we were going into it, we were like, okay, this is gonna be really good for us. We're down 2 people for the sandbag part, but we were like, if we can get this 45-second head start, that'll probably put us in a pretty good spot. And then it was revealed that she was able to give it to Savannah on the other team. So we were definitely disheartened, I think, at first. But we were like, you know what, we're gonna push through it, we're gonna figure it out, and we're gonna make it work.
This challenge is great because it tests 3 aspects of the game. The ropes test teamwork,
The sandbags test strength, and the puzzle tests the mind.
All right, you guys wait for the first 45. Green, go. They are moving. Our orange team is forced to sit and watch as green starts to tear through this challenge. They're making easy work of these knots, trying to break them up. Is that a good strategy? All right, 25 seconds of waiting left for orange. Are they ready to go?
We had the 45-second advantage in the beginning with the rope, so I already knew Christy, JB, and Savannah. I already knew they were going to kill that.
Pretty happy about having the advantage of the extra time. However, I knew that in challenges, that amount of time is not a lot. You know, you're rushing through it, there's a lot of adrenaline. If you don't keep yourself calm, mistakes are going to be made, and that's a lot of time spent trying to fix your mistake.
Is green?
10 seconds about left for our orange team. I'm gonna count you in, orange. 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Orange is off to a quick start. They're moving. Can they catch up? It looks like they're only a few feet behind, but it could be a lot more than that in terms of the knot.
I think we had a really good strategy of me going, like, doing most of the physical stuff and going in between the ropes, and the other two just like dictating and moving the ropes and telling me where to go. But either way, I guess our strategy wasn't good enough because they seemed to catch up.
Destiny saw the rope and immediately knew what our plan was going to be. Just a simple braid. You know, I have 2 kids. I know how to braid my girl's hair, so that actually helped. But Destiny and Jackie really taking the lead of directing us really helped us make up a lot of time in that challenge.
Wow, I'm shocked at the amount of time that green team is making up right now. It appears neck and neck, but it's hard to tell with these knots.
Right? You good?
All right, you're good. Untie yourself, come stand in here and they can go. Come stand in the spot. And you're good, go.
Involved in one segment of the challenge, I already knew I was going to be firing at a whole nother level. Miles.
The orange team flew through the ropes and now they're only 2 sandbags behind. You're good, go.
Give me one.
All right, Danny saddled himself up with the sandbag with 2. He's going for 2.
Can I do 2? Come on, guys, you got it.
They're debating strategy and Savannah's cheering for her team. Destiny's taking off with 2. She's got to bring both back in order for her turn to be finished.
I had a feeling that I would not be able to run the course with a 50-pound bag on me. So my strategy going into it was to try to carry 2 bags because I feel like I'm pretty strong, and just walk it. And maybe that get me farther with saving time going around the course. I could not hold on to those bags. I couldn't get around. Like, I tried every position I had, the sand shifted and I lost grip. It was very heavy and I couldn't make it the whole way through it, so.
Come on, that's sweat dripping off your face. Get them all the way there, all the way there.
Ready to go.
So for the sandbags, we didn't have too much strategy. We were thinking like hopefully Danny could take 2 and Destiny and I could take 1. Destiny thought she could take 2, but she didn't, she underestimated how heavy they were. So she had a tough time with that and ended up dropping one of them, the bags, and we didn't know because she was like in the loop. So that was tough. Then Danny had to go back and help her.
I will admit I took advantage of the fact that, you know, green team, we had more people, so I was able to sit out one of those rounds of the sandbag and then just go back in it to help out at the very end.
Anything with strength and relay type exercises or weight bearing exercises, you want to have rest, you know, in numbers. And so off the bat, I think the ego in me was like, I'm just gonna scoop up 2 of these, go 2 at a time. The more I thought about it, I thought to one race I was in a few years back, a Spartan race, and they had a couple of really intense carrying challenge. I think one was like a farmer's carry, and one was the exact same challenge with a very heavy, I believe around 75-pound sack of sand. So I knew that it wouldn't be as easy as I thought once you get going. So I figured be efficient, be as fast as possible. So I decided off the bat we were going to just try one at a time and see how it went, and then just rest when we had to, and I think that ended up being the best strategy for us.
Green team gets to the puzzle first, with Savannah taking the lead. The orange team still has a few sandbags to go.
The puzzle was pretty frustrating. We were all trying to contribute, which when I was doing it, I kind of ignored them sometimes because they were just trying to move pieces around without thinking about it.
Come back with that last sandbag. When it goes down, Jackie can start right away. Go, Jackie. Orange is done with their sandbags. They can move on to the puzzle portion of the challenge. We have a challenge again, coming from way behind.
Felt like I was going to be only in 2 of the 3 portions of that event. So once I got those sandbags in, I was done. And fortunately for our team, Jackie had been practicing number slides before.
I'd actually been practicing slide puzzles at home on an app, and I really tried my hardest, but it's hard. Like, you're out of breath, it's hot outside, it's a lot of pressure, so.
Green team seems to think they have something going here in the bottom portion where the puzzle gets really hard.
I kind of had to take charge because I think we needed someone to take charge, and nobody was really, like, went out there and said anything or did anything, like, and took charge, and everyone kind of said they were really gonna suck at it.
The puzzle portion was interesting. Obviously we had a huge advantage to start, and the one thing I was trying to really beat into our team in Savannah was, like, stay calm, because the moment you get that kind of frustrated, fluttered, you're gonna start rushing and not thinking clearly, so.
No, I was definitely glad that Danny and Destiny were kind of quiet. I'm not the type of person that does well with, like, people yelling all sorts of things at me. I'm glad because I could hear, like, the other team, talking to their players or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, that would just stress me out so much more in, like, an already stressful situation. So I was definitely glad that they were on the calm side, and if they had something to input, they would, but it wasn't like a constant, like, do this, do this, do this. Like, I'm glad that they let me do my thing and try to figure it out myself.
I don't remember if there was any conversation about Savannah stepping up, but I think from the interactions we had, we all know that Savannah's pretty smart. She's book smart and she seems street smart. So we figured with her brain, the way she thinks, that she'd be the best one. So I think she kind of knew that as well and just kind of stepped in and started doing it.
The clock is ticking on this challenge. You fought hard to get to this puzzle. If you can finish it here, you can take the other team and send them to team evaluation.
Yeah.
With nothing in their hands but the chance to vote each other out of this game. And time is up. Hands off the puzzles. You all worked hard.
The puzzle ended up taking longer than we tested, so we had to go to our tiebreaker. In this case, it was a sudden death challenge. One person from each team was going to stand 10 feet away from a circle target on the ground. They each are going to throw a rock towards that target, and the closest rock wins the sudden death match. Danny was chosen to represent the orange team, JB the green team. JB's rock ended up being closer, securing his team the victory in event 2, the Gauntlet.
Oh, hey, we know you can do it.
I couldn't see what the target was, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I'm gonna
Stand by your table.
over there where you did it.
Congratulations to our green team, the winner of our second challenge. And orange team, got nothing for you guys. You can head on back to camp. All right, as for our green team, at the beginning of this challenge, I did say you would compete for the reward in the form of food and for a chance at immunity at our team evaluation. Your team will also attend team evaluation and vote somebody off of your team. What you have earned for your team is a chance at each of you for safety. After winning event 2, the green team would face their first big twist of the game. They were going to pick rocks at random.
One rock is a safety rock that can be used at any of the next 3 team evaluations. 2 of the rocks are a safety rock, but these ones can only be used at the upcoming team evaluation. And the last 2 rocks, they mean nothing.
Savannah drew a red safety rock. This is good to be used once up until there are 4 players left in the game. JB and Justin drew a blue safety rock. This guarantees them protection heading into the next team evaluation. Now, Mark and Christy drew a black rock. This leaves them vulnerable heading into the next vote.
So when we picked the safety rocks,
out of the bag, you know, I was a little bit nervous for my team because I didn't know how many of what there was going to be. So it was like a reward, but kind of also a punishment because, you know, depending on who gets what, it could put a target on your back. And so when I pulled a different color rock than everyone else, it made me very nervous. I'm like, you know, I'm the one singled out, but then I found out that I could use that safety rock at any time. So I was a little bit nervous that might put a target on my back. So that made me a little bit nervous. And then from there, we kind of as a team needed to come up with a strategy because I don't think we were very comfortable voting anyone off.
Survive the Challenge is brought to you by the Newport Richey Recreation and Aquatic Center, sponsored by Urban Air Adventure Park. We are here at our second team evaluation. Here we're gonna have to vote off another player out of the game. Orange team, you did ultimately end up losing the sudden death challenge we had to go to for challenge number 2. You guys don't want to be here, it's written all over your faces. Let's start by going to Destiny. I want to hear what's going through your mind right now.
I don't want to be here. I don't know what's strategically best for our team. And yeah, I just wish we could have won the challenge.
Now, you guys had a limited set amount of time between the challenge and now. Jackie, have you guys talked strategy since then?
I mean, we try to. We have been pretty open about it, and we're like, okay, so who's it gonna be? But I don't think any of us know like what to do or what the right thing is. Or
Would you agree that it's up in the air? Is there a general fear from everyone that they might be going out of the game at this vote?
100%. So Jackie, Destiny, and I were a tight final 3, and it's very unfortunate that one of us had to get voted off. As we came back from the event, we talked openly right away. There wasn't ever one of us going off with the other one, and we talked about our feelings and what we thought, who we thought the best two to go on in the game would be.
Jackie, why don't you tell me about the challenge? I know there's some frustrations.
yeah, I mean, so we thought we had the advantage of that, 45 seconds in the beginning. And then we lost it, which is pretty sad. That was frustrating. That was the first frustration of the challenge.
First blow.
I think we did really good on the ropes. And then, the sandbags is just tough. And we kind of had some struggle with that. And then down came the slide puzzle. And there were so many times where I thought I had it, and I was one number off. And we couldn't complete it in time, and then we went to sudden death. So that was sudden death is 50-50, obviously, sudden death. But yeah, pretty frustrating.
Wasn't it today? Well, you guys put on a really impressive show. You came all the way up to them with the puzzle, even though neither team was able to finish it. I saw a really valiant effort out of all 3 of you guys. Danny, what kind of respect have you gained for your fellow competitors on your team?
Not only that, I mean, we're doing everything as a team, and all of us are doing every part of it. So we did a great job. We had great teamwork on the ropes course, and then we all took sandbags, and then Jackie did an amazing job on the puzzle. I felt helpless actually watching it because I couldn't. She was 5 steps ahead of me. So it's we get to one number off, but obviously that's the hardest number to get, and so. We came close, and obviously it came down to rocks, and my rock went skipping away. So
I had mentioned it, what if we all voted for the same person, or not for the same person, sorry. What if we all voted for each other? And it did go to draw rocks, throw rocks, whatever. Sudden death, that's the word I was looking for. And both of them seemed to not like that idea, so.
We talked about the different options of who could go on. We talked about whether it'd be advantageous for Destiny and Jackie to go on because they're 2 girls and that would outweigh the guys. And Destiny did not want to continue the game with me because she thought it would put us at too big of a disadvantage, being husband and wife.
Going into the team evaluation, Destiny had told me, she's like, I'm voting for Danny. I think Danny's gonna vote for me, so it's up to you, between the 2 of us, because they thought that if they went into a merge situation with the green team that the green would stay strong, the 4 of them or 5 of them, and that the 2 of them would just get picked off first because they're married. So I was like, okay. So I was trying to think, I didn't want to vote either of them off, but I was trying to think like what would be best for me and for my game. And I thought Danny's strength would like help me if I could somehow like stay with him and drag someone else from the other team over.
All right, are we back to another shot in the dark? The same question I asked you last time, Danny? We feel like the guns are loaded, pointed at everybody, and it could be any of the 3 of you guys that lose right now?
I don't think any one of us individually will be surprised if we are the one.
All right, well, thanks for answering my questions. It's time to get to the vote. Danny, want to go first? All right, Destiny was the last one. I'll go get the votes. All right. If anybody has a safety rock, now would be the time to play it. I'll read the votes. Destiny. 1 vote for Destiny. Jackie. 1 vote for Jackie. And the second person going home from our competition will not be decided yet. Danny. We will move to another sudden death challenge. Danny being the only one with experience in the sudden death challenge, it will be the same thing that you guys just saw. It will determine your fate in the game. The person who is furthest away, their game will end here. So loosen your bandanas because they might be coming off soon. Let's get those rocks.
Same as before, the tiebreaker is a sudden death challenge. This time, whoever's rock is furthest away from the target goes home. Jackie's up first.
Jackie with the first throw. Could be deciding her fate in the game. Destiny with the second. An enviable spot to Jackie's. Good high arc, it lands close. And Danny comes up right next to our dot. Jackie's rock the furthest away. She will be ending her game here by a sudden death challenge. A good social game she played. Turned husband and wife against each other. Ultimately, due to the vote, it was a 3-way tie, and our game came down to our sudden death competition with rocks. Your order was chosen randomly, and Jackie's rock landed the furthest away, putting her out of the game, ending her life in this competition, and your game is over. You can hand in your buff. All right, well fought. You head on out. Well, one thing's for sure, that is not what I expected to happen at this team evaluation. You guys have surprised me. I expect you to continue to surprise me, and I'll expect to see you guys continue to fight. You guys can head on over. Survive the Challenge is brought to you by the Newport Richey Recreation and Aquatic Center, sponsored by Urban Air Adventure Park. Welcome to team evaluation, guys. Come on, take a seat. Welcome to our 3rd team evaluation. Although you guys did great in the challenge, you were met with a twist at the end. You were able to pull rocks for a chance at safety rather than guaranteed safety for the entire team. Our game moves fast, people are gonna have to go home. So it's an exciting twist for you guys. One of you was able to pull a rock that won you a safety rock that can be used at any of our team evaluations up until there are only 4 people left in the game. 2 of you won blue safety rocks that have to be played at this team evaluation for safety. Now, the other 2 of you pulled black rocks, which gave you no advantage. Now, what we know who has the blue rocks, we know who has the orange rock. We don't know if you guys have moved them around, so they do not have to be played for yourself.
So once we won, we got the surprise that we would have to eliminate people. However, some people had safety rocks, 3 out of the 5, which obviously for the other 2 wasn't great news.
Let's get to some questions. So we'll start at the right. JB, the original team captain, you picked this team. You've won 2 challenges. How are you feeling now after 2 challenges in with the team you picked?
I would say it's kind of hard, you know, choosing a team and then watching one leave. It's kind of hard because we have very good chemistry. You know, we play each other's role. You know, if another person have a weakness that's not everybody else good at, we can pick each other up and make it so we can make that person who feels weak feel strong again. So I feel like that's a good thing about us right now.
Awesome, great. Superman, all right. Now, I saw you like a beast moving some sandbags out there. Now, you look like you'd done it before. How did it go for you out there? Was it easy, was it tough?
The sandbags, I gotta be honest, it was kind of easy, just because of just the metabolic training that I do was for my conditioning. So I already knew once I found out what the challenge was in that portion, I already knew that green team, we had that part in the bag. That was key.
As for the sandbags, we really did expect Superman to take at least 3 or maybe even 2 at a time, because he really hyped himself up to be like, this was gonna be a breeze for him. He was gonna be able to do it no problem because he works out all the time. And then that wasn't really the case, which I think hurt us a little bit, which is kind of why I had to step in and grab a bag, because they just look exhausted, and even Superman just looked dead, like he needed a break.
I will admit I took advantage of the fact that, you know, green team, we had more people, so I was able to sit out one of those rounds of the sandbag and then just go back in it to help out at the very end. So I was glad we capitalized on that. We put that together strategically.
Like, the fact that I had to step in and do it after I was already exhausted we had 3 huge guys who could have done it, no problem. But my little 5'1", had to get in there and do it. So yeah, no, we did nothing well. We did not a good job on that challenge, but whatever. We knew after that, like, I feel like we learned how to work better as a team and like identify our weaknesses so that we could be better for the next challenge.
Now, with the win, unfortunately now comes you'll have to vote somebody off even still. Do you feel prepared for who you're going to cast your vote for?
Yeah.
Chrissy, do you feel that same level of confidence, or are you taking it right up to the walk down the boardwalk here to decide who you're going to vote for?
So we've talked to each other, and I think we have a good strategy of what we're going to do. So yeah, I'm prepared, but it's still sad to see someone go, because as they've said, we've all kind of created such a good bond in such a little time.
No matter what I asked at this team evaluation, the green team's only answer was loyalty.
I think everybody already knows. We talked about it.
Come to an agreement on how we're going to do it.
We have very good chemistry.
I think I know where my loyalty will lie no matter what.
Yeah, definitely. I'm loyal to them.
Built a bond with all 4.
We all talked about it, and
Everybody knows what's going to happen.
but we're loyal and honest.
We keep saying it's a short game. You guys only have until the end of the day to impress everybody, to earn their votes at the end, to win the prize, and there can only be one winner. So by show of hands here, who thinks their plan is the plan that's going into effect tonight? Everybody? Well, unless one of you is planning to go home, somebody's got to be wrong. So let's get to the vote. Justin, you want to vote first?
Here it is. A contestant may not cast a vote against him or herself. This will result in a revote.
Unfortunately, there is a strategy that was employed that is against the rules. Now, you guys may have to take a closer look at the written rules that we dispense, but you are not able to vote for yourself in this game. You have to vote for somebody besides yourself. So we're going to revote. Everybody will go down again one at a time and cast a vote for somebody other than themselves. Justin, get us started again. the last one. With his vote, we are ready. I'll go grab the votes. If anyone has a safety rock, now would be the time to play it. JB, come on up. These are our blue safety rocks that can only be played at this portion of the game. Justin, come on up. Any votes counted for Justin, any votes counted for JB will be invalidated at this team evaluation. Let's read the votes. First vote, Mark, AKA Superman. Second vote, Justin. This vote does not count. Third vote, Justin again. This vote does not count. Third vote, Christy. We have one vote for Christy, one vote for Superman. Third vote, Justin. This vote does not count. We will be going to sudden death again at this team evaluation between Christy and Superman. All right. Let's head out. All right, turn your hands out, reveal. All right, blue rock goes first. You'll throw from here, get as close as you can to our target there. Christy, pretty close, it's only a couple feet. Superman with the challenge to throw further. He knows he could throw this rock to the moon if he wanted to. Goes with a soft, gentle touch. It's pretty close, but it looks like it's going to be going to Superman. So, it looks like you guys learned something from the last tie, and you're trying, in the hopes of keeping team spirits together and not dividing yourselves, you decided to tie it up and leave it to chance for those two players, Superman and Christy. Is that a fair assessment, Justin?
Absolutely, 100% what we want to do.
All right, and are you guys looking to stay, is that to stay locked in with each other, to keep alliances strong and not have each other pitted against one another?
Yeah, just keep, I mean, I think it would have been no hard feelings either way, but we wanted to 100% give them the opportunity to see who won. So.
Benefit of the sudden death challenge is it leaves the fate of the game in your hands. You have to do the best you can. Chance decides the order. It's as fair as can be. And unfortunately this time you didn't come out on top, Christy, so your game ends here. Hand in your bandana. Good job. You can head on out. Ah, love to see it. Good job. Survive the Challenge is brought to you by the Newport Richey Recreation and Aquatic Center, sponsored by Urban Air Adventure Park.
Okay, so I was voted out with the rock throwing thing, which is sad, but that's part of the game. You know, I was definitely shocked to hear how the vote went. You know, I thought Destiny told me, she was like, I think Danny's voting for me, I'm gonna vote for him, and it's up to you to decide. And not that I wanted Destiny voted out, but I thought I had a better chance with Danny.
So I made a big mistake and putting my emotions in the game rather than being strategic. And I was fighting with myself for a while because any TV show that you watch that's like this, you know that you just gotta play the game. And I tried saying that to them a little bit, but they were we just had a close bond, like we said. And I didn't want to be that person to, you know, be the bad guy, pretty much. I figured if we made it, you know, tied, then it would be up to, you know, myself and Superman to kind of keep ourselves in the game. And unfortunately, I went first with the rock throw, so I didn't realize that, you know, it would have gone too far because I threw it a little too hard. But to me, I think it was a good and bad decision. It was fair, but unfortunately, I was the one who went out.
Let's by a show of hands from our folks here. Who thinks that their plan is going through tonight and somebody besides themselves is going to leave? I got confident answers from two.
I think I.
Okay, I'll
You mean like right now, right?
Yeah, right now. Take two.
Yeah,
Like, whoever's sure that they're not going home right now.
Who's sure that they're not going home and thinks that their plan is going into effect? There's only one person.
That's a weird way to word it because we all have the same plan. Yeah.
Allegedly.
We think or not, yeah.
Well, then you'd all raise your hand because you all think.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I just wasn't
Okay.
sure, like, the... I don't think that's gonna pan out. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think that's a good question. 'Cause I
It
don't think you know
doesn't, it
our
doesn't all
plan.
have to get used to
Okay.
that. All right.